JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 11th of August 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday's afternoon session where we're gonna have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, some of the interesting setups. But yeah, as always guys, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now let's quickly jump into the charts. So the quick update on what's happening here with the German DAX. So the German DAX is popping nicely to the upside, and this is what I was talking about this morning. Basically, the index managed to finally overcome this barrier here, the 12,773 territory, and in addition to that, it also managed to pierce through the 12,913 mark. Also that I mentioned this morning, that one's the highest point of June. So now the big question here is, can it stay above it? If it can, then yes, that's good news for the buyers. We could see this one continuing to accelerate higher, where our next target is the highest point of July, near the 13,314 mark. So good potential targets here, but all eyes are right now on the highest point of June. Even if it does drift back down here below this the highest point of June, but remains above the 12,773 territory, then of course there is still a chance for the bulls to push this one higher. However, it would be a bit of we would be a little bit more on the cautious side. But again, for now everything's looking quite nice here for the buyers. So let's see if this index can stay and can close above the June high today, which is around the 12,913 mark. Now jumping into S&P 500, yesterday the index closed in the positive territory, and as you can see, I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but let me just get rid of some of these arrows. So the most important thing here is that yesterday, yes, it did accelerate further north, and well, we can see that it's already not far from its all-time high, which is roughly around the 3,393 level. So that was reached in February this year. So so yep, of course, we'll look at this. It has been a long way for the index to recover everything. We can see that it's a beautiful V-shaped, well, almost a V-shaped recovery here. Well, actually, yes, it is almost like a V-shaped recovery here, but yeah, let's see if we can reach this this all-time high, and then, of course, the most important, let's see if we can actually overcome this this barrier, this 3,393 level, and create a new all-time high here for the S&P. So looking at the cash index and where it's currently trading at, we can see that the price is currently sitting at around 3,374 territory, roughly. Well, actually it's above Friday's high, but sorry, above yesterday's high, but below this all-time high still. So it still has a bit of room here left for in order to kind of travel towards the 3,393 territory. So let's see if today is going to be the day when the S&P will hit that level again, and maybe even overcome it. So for now, like I said, we will stay positive. In case this suddenly starts dropping back below the 3,328 territory right here, which is the low of the 21st of February, then And then yes, we will consider maybe a bit of declines here. We could maybe go for slightly lower areas, but again, for now, the index seems to be willing to go further north. So yeah, let's see if we can actually hit a new all-time high today. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100, and for this index yesterday, it was unlike the S&P, NASDAQ yesterday closed in the red, and not much, of course, but still slightly in the red. But the most important thing here is that it closed bang on this level that I talked about previously, this 11,090 zone, which I was telling you guys yesterday, guys, to keep an eye on, because if we get a drop below this and we get a daily close below that, then yep, we could go for a bit of a larger correction to the downside. It closed fractionally below it yesterday, so of course we'll be very careful. Looking at the cash index right now, guys, well, I mean, it's not looking good here for the NASDAQ 100, because the cash index is currently balancing at around 11,033 zone. So basically everything's kind of working out nicely here, with the idea of seeing a bit of a correction here to the downside if the index closes below the 11,090 zones. The index yesterday closed below the below this level. Then yep, well, there is like I said, there is a possibility for this one to move a little bit lower. Now of course, as you understand, that there's a bit of disbalance here between the two indices here, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100. Now, for now, we can see that the tech stocks are taking a bit of a hit, mainly due to the recent developments surrounding Trump and his ban on some Chinese tech stocks. Yeah, let's see how all this is going to play out, guys. For now, looking at this technical picture, there is a possibility maybe to see this one drifting a little bit lower towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 23rd of March, and I'm talking about here, I'm talking about NASDAQ 100. So gold, and look at this beautiful move here on gold. So this is well, this morning I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on it, because in yesterday as well I was saying that there is a possibility to see a bit of a correction here to the downside, and initially the target will be the 1981 level, which the commodity managed to reach perfectly, and then it drifted further down and tested the area around the 1940 level. So this is exactly where it got held. It also got held here by the 21-day EMA. So everything what I was talking about this morning, what I was saying this morning initially was that if it finds support here near this 1981 level, then there's a good chance we could see this one reversing back to the upside. However, if it falls below this, then it would place us in a little bit of a cautious kind of cautious stance here. I mean, we would remain probably a little bit on the neutral side, because even to consider, let's say, larger extensions to the downside here towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 20th of March, we would need to see a nice, good, strong move below that 1940 level. So we didn't get that. We're still not getting that. So it's kind of stuck here in between these two levels, 1940 and the 1981. So let's keep on monitoring, and if by any chance the bulls manage to lift the commodity back above the 1981 level today, and close, we will see a close here above this level. Well, I mean, this is where this arrow here that I've drawn earlier could come in handy, because this could show the potential next direction. So again, keep your eyes on this one. Very interesting developments. I'll definitely pick up on this one tomorrow, just to see how everything's kind of getting along, and then yeah, we'll take it from there. A quick update on Brent Oil, also something that I mentioned this morning, and look at this beautiful move here. It is finally pushing above this 45.20 level again, so that's good news. It's pushing above the 200-day EMA, but again, the same question remains valid. Will we get that daily close above that 200-day EMA? Because previously, as you can see, on the 5th of August and the 6th of August, we did get those overshoots, but we didn't get that daily close above this 200-day EMA. So we're keeping a close eye on this one today. If we do get that close, then yes, we'll start looking at some higher levels, like for example the 48.42 level marked by the low of the 2nd of March. So keep your eyes on this one, guys. Now jumping into Bitcoin very quickly. So Bitcoin failed to move above the current highest point of August near the 12,097 zone right here, and you can see it failed to move above that level yesterday, and today we're seeing a bit of a correction here to the downside. So now how we could look at this is, of course, we can try to draw this short-term tentative upside support line, but again, it's a very tentative one. Don't get me wrong, it's not something to focus purely on, but it just out of curiosity, let's see if this commodity or this crypto will actually find support here near this upside line and then rebound and push back to the upside. If it fails to do so, and if it starts pushing below the low of yesterday, which is roughly around the 11,450 territory, then, well, we could maybe aim for a bit of a decline here towards the 10,933 zone. I talked about this level before, and that level, let me just refresh your memories, that level is the highest point of September of 2019. So again, if we get a break of this upside line and a drop below the 11,450 territory, then we will aim for the 10,933 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. In case, like I said, this upside line does provide support and we see a nice rebound from it, probably will be a little bit on the cautious side and wait for a push above the 12,097 territory in order just to kind of get that extra confirmation in order to aim for some higher levels. I mean, a break above this 12,097 territory would confirm a forthcoming higher high. Now, jumping into a few pairs very quickly, and the first one I want to touch on here is AUDNZD. So the pair, it has managed to kind of test and overcome the highest point of June, which is around the 1.0880 territory, and it managed to overshoot it as well. But as you can see, this is what's happening right now. The bears are stepping in and trying to leave this daily candle below that area. If they succeed in doing that, then maybe we could go for a bit of a correction here to the downside towards this upside support line, guys. So something for you guys to keep in mind. Of course, also keep your eyes on the economic calendar, and we do have some news coming out from New Zealand tonight, or should I say during the Asian morning, and keep your eyes on that. And let me just open up the calendar very quickly. So we do have the RBNZ monetary policy statement, the interest rate decision. Of course, no surprises there expected. However, let's see how all this is going to affect the New Zealand dollar. For now, to be honest, in a way, there is a possibility for the New Zealand dollar to continue strengthening. But in this scenario, in this side, like I said, if we do see a nice daily close above this 1.0880 territory, then there are more chances for this one to move further north. However, like I said, keep your eyes on this barrier, and if we do get a hold up below this level, then we could maybe consider a bit of a correction here towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 18th of March. Now, jumping into US dollar against the Swiss franc here. So I talked about this one a while ago, but as you can see, yesterday the pair did move higher. It failed to overcome this 0.9184 level, and today we're seeing a bit of a decline. Don't get me wrong, not all is lost here still for the bulls. There is still a chance for them to kind of push the pair higher, but from our side, we'll wait for that daily candle kind of staying above this barrier, above the 0.9184 level, before, let's say, aiming for a bit of a larger correction to the upside. GBP JPY, so this one is pushing nicely to the upside. So not quite, it didn't really quite work out as I was expecting it to work out. So basically, it didn't really go for a larger correction. It just kind of stayed up around here, and now you can see that this is the result that we're having. The pair is trying to make its way higher. What I was mentioning previously, that ideally we need to see a nice daily close above this 139.33 territory, roughly around here, in order to kind of consider a higher areas. So for now, the pair is getting close to that level. Let's see if it can overcome it and stay above it. If it can, then the next potential target here for me will be this little this little level right here near the 1.140.84 zone, marked near the low of the 6th of January and also near the low of the 4th of February. So keep your eyes on that one. Very good potential target here, but of course for that we need to see that nice daily close above the 139.33 level. Quick update on euro against South African rand. I've talked about a lot about this one yesterday and this morning. Just a quick update on what's happening here. So as you can see, the barrier here continued to provide resistance, this 20.9160, and yep, the pair is now drifting to the downside. So let's see if we can actually go for a bit of a larger correction here towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 22nd of July. And finally, Euro USD. So this one is, well, had rebounded nicely from the from this lower side of the range, the one that I was pointing out and talking about recently, and we did have a nice push, a strong move higher here back to the 1.1815 level. It failed to kind of move above it, but nevertheless it still remains above this 1.1725 zone. So we'll continue monitoring that, and it will be quite interesting to see for how long the pair could actually move sideways here between these two levels, between the 1.1725 level and the 1.1909 level, roughly around here, guys, on the top. So but if of course the 1.1725 level eventually surrenders and we do see that daily candle moving below it, sharply below it, then yes, and staying below it, of course, then we'll go for a bit of a larger correction towards this upside support line taken from the low of the 14th of May. Until then, we're just going to continue observing the price action here and kind of stay a little bit maybe on the neutral side here for now, where we would prefer to maybe wait for a clear breakthrough one of these highlighted areas, where in other words one of the sides here of this little range. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. As always, I really appreciate your time. So if you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my trader's espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye.